Okay, yes, it's yet again the episode of my trading journey, and it's TBS Tamam Brokerage Services that really thought it wise to bring you such episodes. And it's a moment whereby we do bring you the different traders based on with forex, crypto, features, stocks. Everyone that has had experience, we do bring them to you. They share with you. And today with me is the diva, the lady. I think it's been a while since you last had an experience or a chat with someone who's done forex and they're lady and more so. And with me, you already know it is me, the African, who's always hosting this. And as I've already told you, you can always check us out onto different social media handles, that is TikTok, Twitter, Insta, Facebook. And then for this main episode, you're on to YouTube, that is Tamam Brokerage Services. And gladly with me is the lady herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Blessed Atere. I'm a forex trader. You can call me FX Diva, she trader. A lot of people call me different names because it's the lady in forex. So yeah, but I'm the FX Diva.
Yeah, so as I've told you, I'm so much privileged, and I'm pretty sure yourself out there, you might be that someone that has been wondering over and over, like, is forex only meant for men? Is forex only, because we always have this whole thing of gender balance, gender equality. So that's why we thought it wise that she's going to share something with you. And she has already told you and introduced herself. She traded the FX Diva and all that. Now, the question is, someone out there, they're asking themselves a question of, before she became a she trader, the FX Diva, who is she or who was she?
Yeah, so before I started forex trading, that was in like 2019. I was a civil engineer. Okay. I was still practicing. I was just from campus, and yeah, I decided to try out the forex trading journey alongside engineering. And after like a year, that's when I was like, I think I should really put much emphasis in forex trading, because the engineering career wasn't that good to me. I didn't enjoy it that much. So when I decided to take on forex trading, it was an interesting journey. I fell in love with forex trading, and since back then, I haven't stopped trading till today.
Okay, so you being a civil engineer, this is a very profession that is highly rated. And then I'm pretty sure forex and then a civil engineer, there must have been something, a bigger gap. Mm-hmm. You being a civil engineer, then you're jumping from civil engineering to forex.
Yeah.
Now I will also have to ask, because I'm pretty sure someone out there is also having the same question. Didn't you find any difficulties or hardships as in you choosing this, as in having a difficulty or any fights or any disagreements with your parents?
I've always made my choices from the time I was a kid. So when it came to changing careers, it wasn't that much of a big deal for me to take a decision and all that. And it wasn't really hard because I did economics in my high school. I knew everything about analyzing the news and all that. So it was so easy for me to study a few things, including a little bit of economics, studying here and there. And it wasn't really hard. But of course the hard part was psychology, but definitely studying is a journey in forex trading. Yeah.
So of recent, we mostly use the phrase of the ladies and gentlemen. And in the past, we trade, it's always, for those that know about the ATS or the African traditions, it has always been ladies and gentlemen. So what triggered you to join the business that has for so long been referred to as a business of men?
So, first of all, when you study forex trading and you realize that there is no limitation in the money you're making, that is the key. It's like the key it's like a push that pushes you to do it. Like, you're not limited. Someone is not going to define how much you're being paid because you're a woman, because you're a man, or this or this or that. You can make whatever amount you really want to make in forex trading. A lot of things come with forex trading. It's something that it's not really for men alone or women alone. There is much more to learn in forex trading than you just naming it as a career for men.
That was a very big step and a decision to take from your profession to this. Now you've known. Okay, how did you come to know about forex trading? Because as far as I know, people out there, or mostly for those that have gone to school, refer to engineers and most of the science kind of related courses and subjects as those people are supposed to be bookworms.
Yeah.
You get it? So now, how easily or how do you get to know about forex? Or in fact, trading in general?
Yeah, so earlier on, I was a bookworm. I would read. So when I found myself dating a person who was into forex trading, it was so interesting, and I was so surprised that someone can make money from home. So I was really inspired. I started going behind his back, getting books about forex trading because he had mentioned about a book called Baby Pips. So I went ahead and started reading the book behind his back until I would really show him that, hey, I know this, I know that. And he really said, let me just teach you, because he didn't want to teach me in the beginning. So that's how I got to start forex trading.
So some questions might seem a little bit personal, but then the reason that's why you're here, you really have to shed a real picture to someone out there, because maybe there are even ladies out there who really want to start trading, but then they're having this whole thing of inferiority. That now that you've just mentioned or talked about, dating someone who was really doing forex, because most people, some of the videos I've come across, some mentors, some people will tell you, if you start forex trading, then you have to keep it to yourself, not until you start being productive or successful. And that's when you can open up to your relatives or maybe your GF or your boyfriend. You get it? And then you've said you went behind.
Yes, I was
like had he stopped you from, or he didn't show it to you, or he didn't want you in?
First of all, I think a lot of people do not teach people forex trading because of a lot of different reasons. I personally, I don't like teaching people because one, someone will never take it as a serious career once they are given the knowledge for free. That is the main big reason why I don't teach people. They don't put attachment to the knowledge they are getting. So it's so understandable when someone does not really teach you the forex trading knowledge, because you're not going to value it anyway. You're going to do some other businesses alongside forex trading. So, and this is someone's career at the end of the day. They're really giving you the knowledge, If you're not following, if you're not putting in the work, it's really so discouraging for them to continue doing that.
All right.
So I believe that's one of the reasons to why he didn't want to teach me, because he knew the downsides. He knew,
you wouldn't like it, or maybe that.
Or, something like that. And he knew that I had stuff as well.
And that is really beautiful. So already out of what she said, I think she was someone that really looked at something, she liked it, and then she was so eager to really go for it. Question out there to you: if you see something, are you willing and eager to go for it? That is up to you. You can choose right or wrong. So now you've gotten into this whole thing of trying to dig deep, because you already mentioned about the Baby Pips, because I'm pretty sure everyone out there that has tried forex or is already doing forex at least must have gone through that book at a certain point. And then so what, at that early stage, how was it? Was it easy? Did it seem normal? Because you're already this person who has already a bookworm, and then this whole thing at least needs a little a bit of reading. So how was the situation? You can try to paint us a picture.
So when it comes to forex trading, especially for beginners, it looks easy. It really looks easy. Because I remember my very first months of trading, I was profitable. The very first year, of course, I encountered losses, but still profitable. But when you start making consistent losses, that's when the forex journey begins. The beginning part is kind of easy. You're collecting a lot of knowledge. You're trying these strategies. You're doing this. You're doing
so that is the point. That is the point too, as someone wants to know. How did you collect or gather your knowledge? What was the mode that you really looked at? Because people will tell you there's YouTube, I went to this and then went to so and so. So now you,
me as a person.
Yeah.
When it comes to my knowledge, it's collective. It's collective. I read a lot of books. I do a lot of research. I incorporate in news. I wouldn't say that specifically go on YouTube and do this. Someone said, you don't know that you need to know until you know that you need to know. Like when you start researching about something and then you get knowledge about it, from that knowledge you start finding out something else. You start finding out something else. So that's how I started incorporating in a lot of things. I find myself my strategy, adding in this, adding in that, adding in that. But all these things come within, like, within like a period of time. It just doesn't happen in one day. It's a collective of, knowledge, putting things together, putting in the work together. So that is forex for you. Yeah.
So you've already gone through those early stages of trying to collect the knowledge and all that.
Yeah.
So what was that breaker? What's that breaker? Yes.
So the breaker was when I really landed on some lady's page, and she's good at really teaching. And like, it wasn't about what she was teaching, but it was about what she was giving out.
Okay.
In forex trading, 30% is mostly the strategies that you have, the equipment that you use, but the 70% is mostly psychology. This lady was a good teacher, but mostly good at psychology. Like, she would talk about the things that literally go on into your minds when you're like into the market, when you're trading, when you're like even just doing research, even in your day-to-day life. So when I started listening to this lady, when I started like following her calls, all that, I didn't even just learn the strategies, but mainly it just shaped my psychology in one way or the other. And reading as well has been a deal breaker for me. Reading psychology books, reading definitely forex psychology books, not other psychology books. So that has been a deal breaker for me, and I would really, really emphasize every trader out there to really do that.
Yeah. So you're a trader out there, you're still an amateur, or you're just a starter. And then, or sometimes, or even to some, you're just someone who's been coming across this trading content or financial markets content, and then you still trying to think in between whether you should step into the markets or not, and then you're still undecided. You should really get to know, at least if you've come across all these videos and some of others that you found elsewhere, you must have heard most of the traders tipping about reading and others wanting to know more. So still, a question goes to you as an individual. Deep down, you look into yourself and be like, I want to go for this. Am I willing to read? Am I willing to dig deep? Am I willing to do research so that I can really come up and be a successful trader as those that I'm always seeing, giving out testimonies and all that. So now you're already into the markets, you're already assuming, because I know you can't go about each and every bit, there are a lot. So what was the experience when you, or on that day, you made your first loss or profit?
So let me first explain my first profit. The very first day I made profit, because I started with MT5 back then. It was mostly VIX, step index, B75 and all that. And for a forex trader to start with those kind of indices, it's kind of really, it's like a hard thing to first start with, but you don't know what you're doing anyway. So when I first made my first withdrawal, it was happiness. I just knew I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. But then after me getting excited, definitely I'm joining this for the wrong reasons. Later on, when I started making like losses, that's when I realized that, yeah. And for the very first loss, I didn't even have sleep for like 2 good days. I held a trade for more than, I don't know when, until I got tired. I'm like, you know what, let me just give up on this trade.
Okay, a bit of it that I don't want us to skip is, I'm always a person who relates more to reality. So at what point did you tell a friend, did you tell a boyfriend or a parent or a guardian by then, as when you had just stepped in, the time you had just stepped into the markets, or you just kept it to yourself until it either started draining you or you started draining it?
Everyone around me, I don't know how, I think I'm not just a quiet person, but everyone around me has always known that I do forex trading. Okay. Though my mom knew that I do forex trading alongside civil engineering, but she wasn't sure what I put my time into most. Okay. But anyone around me, it's not something that I hide. Even when I just started the journey, I remember telling my mom, oh, there is this, but she's not like that much of of a school person, so she wouldn't really understand much about it. But I always tell the people around me what I do, so everyone knows what I do. Yeah.
And so, still many people never pride in what they do. So sometimes when you opt for something or you try to take something as the first priority or as a priority in your life, then mostly if it's all about earnings, then you have to really be so open to it. And then, as I've said, you either let it drain you or you drain it. But of course, no one steps into something with an intention of losing. It's always a win-win. So once you step in, then go in. Because she has already told you, once she chose to start trading, she went in full with all two legs. She didn't just test and then step back. Now, you were still, you were giving us an experience of, okay, your first, like, did you, as you're trading in your early days, did you start with the worst experience or the bad experience or the good one? Like someone would tell you, the first time I placed a trade, I lost. Or the first time I ever made a trade, I profited.
So, the reason to why I'm still in this thing, in the forex trading, career is because I wasn't that much hyped. Like, I didn't interact with a lot of traders to begin with. The only person I knew who was a trader was the person I was living with. I just didn't know what was outside in the other world. I did not get to see people flex. I did not get to see people make crazy money on YouTube, and I'm like so inspired. All I knew is that this person does this, and all I need to do is get these books and read this. That is all I did. And when I started even, like, that's why I don't have like much psychology damage because of the losses, because I wasn't hyped like the way, you watch videos and you be like,
so
I'm going to do this.
You are doing your own thing
I was just
in your own world.
I'm just, exactly, I was just doing something I don't know much about, I don't know how big it is, but I was just doing it anyway. Profitable, non-profitable. That's why it was so easy for me to tell the people around me, because I didn't see it as a problem, however much everyone was saying it's gambling, but as for me, I never saw it as gambling.
Is there a moment at that early stage, or maybe you regretted knowing and starting trading?
I'll say this like in camera. There is no day from the time I got my phone and placed my first trade, I remember very well, it was even a demo account. There is no day I've ever woken up and I say, I regret that the day I joined forex trading.
Okay.
It has never happened.
You had been. Okay,
even when I was quitting my jobs, all the jobs I've tried to quit, all the jobs I've tried to quit, they have never fired me. All the jobs I've tried to quit is always because I'm choosing forex over anything else. So that means I've never regretted.
Okay. Now, there is this lady out there. She's still blue about this whole thing of trading, and she has had that whole negativity. She's had forex is a scam. Because people have experiences with these other multi-level, I hear marketing online and all that, those online businesses and whatever. So some people have been already scammed, and then so every time someone hears about something that is being done on the internet, they will take it for a scam. You get it? And then before we go further, what would be that one point you would tell that person who's still having a lot of negativity about it?
One thing that I can say is that we're living in the world that is really growing. Like, it's growing so fast, and it's funny how everything is on internet. Everything is online. Like, you'll be there and you think people are scamming you. That's when Bitcoin came in Uganda, I don't know when, and everyone thought it was a scam until it hit $70,000. You get? So, everything is a scam in this life. You're going to bet on your education and you're still not going to do what you studied for. You're going to bet on like the doctors that aren't going to do what they're paid to do. They're not going to bring back the life of a person. You get? So everything in life at some point is a scam. You just need to like go all in, give it a try, and see how it goes, because you can't know whether it's a scam or not. Because I did civil engineering, was it a scam then? I think I was.
So we go to schools, attend classes, for over 10, 15, 12, 16, 14 years, depending on the kind or the course someone is pursuing. And then all of a sudden, you graduate to look for a job where they're going to ask you for experience.
Yeah.
You get it? Those are 10, 12, 15 years invested. With lots of money, because tuition, school fees, and this whole thing that you've been paying. Yeah. And then there are these people who will tell you, I really, if I'm to step into forex, then I must be assured of making money tomorrow or today. If I step in today, then I have to make money. Because at a certain point, I had a friend of mine. This guy had just gotten to know about forex. They had told him how forex earns you money. You can trade anything. You're free. You can deposit with you at any time. There are a lot of things to trade. You can trade futures, stocks, and all that. And this guy was like, man, I think let me try to put in some little time. I master, and then after that, I think I'll even go and get a loan, come trade, and then I'll accumulate those profits even in a week, and then I can take back the initial what, and then I'll remain with the profits with the profits that I'll trade with to accumulate more. You get it? So people have that negativity. People have that negativity or people want to make money this real quick. You get it? And then there is you who's told them it didn't take you that much time. You get it? Though you put in the dedication and the hard work. You get it? So what should that person look into, or what should that person assume or even imagine of forex, or even as trading in general?
So when I'm talking about the forex trading journey or the whole forex trading career, I always want to relate it to like that day-to-day life. There is no way you are going to get done with campus and you think you're going to be a CEO of a company if you haven't put in the work. You get? You're not going to get out of campus or get done with your senior for whatever, and then you join forex 1 year down the road and you think you're just going to be hitting gain. It's not going to work like that. With each and every career, you have to first put in the experience. Even just after campus, you have to put in the work. You have to always show up every day. You have to always get recommendations from all the people you've worked with for you to get wherever you are. It might even take you more than 10 years to actually get there. So why do you think in forex trading it's going to be that easy? Because other than that, as I said, after learning the 30%, which is like the strategies, the news, the what, everything that is outside forex trading, then you need to work on yourself, which is the 70%. You don't even know what you're working on. That's the funny bit. You don't know what emotions you're going to work on. You don't know how you're going to go about these emotions. You don't know how you're going to work on this, work on that. Everything is within. Tell me how you're going to work on that psychology bit in just 1 year. This is something that is supposed to be learned, it's supposed to be mastered, and it's supposed to be practiced. So if you're out there and you think you are just going to come in forex trading, have beginner's luck for a year or two, and think you're making it, at some point, even after the third year of you being profitable, you're just still dealing with beginner's luck. I don't know whether you get the point.
I do.
Yeah. So after 3 years of trading, and that's when I'm actually talking about myself. After 3 years of trading, I've been profitable. I think I'm unstoppable, and this is how I now realize that I don't know anything about psychology. You get? So it's a journey of its own that you just don't wake up and think you're going to make it in a year or two. It's something you really need to master and practice.
I do. So it's TBS, Tamam Brokerage Services, that really thought it wise to be bringing you different people with different experiences. I'll always remind you getting this on silver platter, but people like her and some other people that we've been bringing you, and the more we are still to bring to share with you their journeys, they've learned this whole thing the hard way. Some paid amounts in dollars to just learn, not to trade, not to use it at their capital, but just paying someone to teach you about something. So when you have a chance to have someone who's experienced and has the vast experience in trading to share with you, then you better click, and then you really pick out something. And as I've told you, you can always get to enjoy or get to learn from all these episodes. That is when you visit our social media handles, that is Facebook, Twitter, Insta, TikTok mostly, and then on YouTube you can always get the full episodes, because on the other platforms you can always just get teasers. So you can always go and have more of this on YouTube. That is the Mountain Brokerage Services. That's where you can always get to enjoy more, learn, and then as well guide yourself, if not correcting yourself. Yes, we're still on, and we're still on with our episode. And today's episode, I told you, we are with the lady, the shit trader, the FX diva, and she's here to share with you people. So I'm pretty sure you, a man who is out there, and you've always been doubting, you've always had these whole mythical stories about trading. She's here to challenge you. And after here, you should just go and open a trading account. That is with TBS. And then you start, because as well, they're always providing you with the lessons or classes that are never paid for. Yet these people paid dollars, and even some reached an extent of sweating blood and plasma just to get to have this information they're sharing with you. So of course, here we are, you're already trading. And then I've had different people, that's why now we also have to hear from you, saying some will tell you, may I trade everything for so long as the setup is valid and I've studied the market well. Are you also that person, or you specifically, or you specified on the pairs or things that you trade on? And if it's not that, you won't trade until maybe a setup shows up?
I basically do forex markets mainly. That's what I've been doing from the time I quit like the V75, those kind of volatility indices. That's when I switched to forex trading, and I haven't traded anything else. Of course, I've tried the options, but that's when I was beginning only. I only trade forex pairs, and that is all. But mainly GBP, USD, gold, and maybe GBP AUD. That is all I trade. I don't trade a lot of things.
Okay. For you've opted to come and guide. Someone will tell you, why would someone, I think this is all about trading, or this is all trading. Why would someone say, me I only trade cryptos, or me I only trade indices, or me I only trade, what is the difference, or what's the gap in between those different things that are traded?
So with whatever we do, even if you're a doctor, at the end of the day you're going to find yourself specializing in one thing. You can't be a surgeon of a heart and later on you're cutting off the legs, later on you're cutting off the arms. It can't work like that. Okay. At some point you have to specialize in something, and that's how you're going to become a pro at it. If you choose to do forex trading, choose the pairs, and you'll be like, you know what, this is what I'm going to focus on. If you're going to do options, you know what kind of options you're going to go for. If you're a stock trader, you know what kind of stocks you're going to look at. So in what, like, I don't think someone would actually be trading forex trading at the same time, doing options at the same time they're doing stocks. I feel like they're overwhelmed by just the news alone, but analysis, a lot of things going on. You can't keep up. I don't think you will be profitable like that, other than you putting time in like one thing. You learn it, you give it time until you become good at it, because that's how you're going to profit.
If I can remember, at an early stage of your introduction, you mentioned, you talked about being almost self-mentored, and then you talked about always being by yourself and at yourself, that you always never looked at the different people who are showing results doing this. But then, as we are growing up, we always get exposed to different levels, different personalities in the field or in the same field.
Yeah.
You get it? And then so at a certain point, did you reach somewhere then maybe at least started being pressured? Being pressured by how the industry is running, or maybe you feel scared or threatened, feeling maybe at sometimes, because every time we wake up on a daily or maybe on a weekly basis, we do set our targets. I'm pretty sure you two do, and at a certain point you did. Did you at one time feel threatened?
So there is this thing called belief. What you are told in the beginning, most of the time, is a thing that sticks with you till the very end, until you choose to ignore it, or until you choose to actually put emphasis on it. Okay. So when I started my forex trading journey, of course I was trading alone. I've never been into a community that, hey, we are trading as a group or anything like that. Maybe a few friends here and there, we nearly trading the same thing, but it's totally a different kind of way of trading. So I've not been pressured by how people trade out there, because after tapping into the psychology bit, that's when you realize that the trading journey it's an individual journey. However much you're trading with a group, at the end of it all, the trades are going to be placed by one person. So that's why I've always been doing it. So
you could be wondering why maybe I posed such a question. As you've said, when you're starting up something, as I've said, people start up with set up targets. And then some start to prove a point, some start to prove some people wrong. That's why we had to jump into that. Now, you already said you do forex, you don't do cryptos, features, and all that. And then, what is your strategy or your mode of trading, because I always prefer making everything simple. I don't want us to be having these, these complicated terms and words that that are used in trading, so that we can break it easily or down easily for that person who's not yet into it, but then they are reaching it, and then at one point they hope to join.
Okay, so like for the beginner, let me start with beginners, and later on I jump into strategies, and then I jump into how I mix everything. So for someone who is beginning forex trading, the one thing I always want to emphasize on is education. Like when you do not invest much in education, you're going to spend your first 2 years in like crushing your psychology, you know? And in the near future, after the 2 years, that's when you start learning. Yet you're supposed to start the learning, invest in the learning, and after investing in the learning, that's when you start, the trading journey.
Yeah.
So a lot of traders start with the other way around of wanting to make money, and then the learning comes in later after them suffering the psychology, the losses that come with. So after you doing the research and the learning, develop your own strategy. Personally, I wouldn't say that I use, let me say, other strategies like ICT, smart money concepts, all that. No, it's just always price action, where the price is at. Like, I look at Fibonacci, I look at the trend line, I look at the trend lines, I see the zones, I see where the price is at. Like, I just look at what price is doing. That is what I check. And after that, that's when I always look at the news. After doing my analysis and I see where the market is at, what it's doing, how is this happening, what might happen, I look at the news and I see what would affect the market into this direction, what would push the market into this direction, if this and this happened, or if this kind of news is released, how is it going to affect the market I'm analyzing. So it's like I'm incorporating in my technical strategy into the fundamental strategy. So that's how I've always done it from the time, I started putting my strategy together. So I always do my technicals alone, study the charts, see the possibilities, where the price might go, where the price might bounce from, where the price might, react from, and then later on I go look at the news, what numbers are going to be released, CPI, NFP, this, that, inflation. Later on I see if this and this happens like this, how is it going to affect my technicals, how is it going to push my market into a certain direction. So, and most of the times when you come to even look at the fundamentals themselves alone, once you get to learn how they move the market, it also makes the technical analysis a little bit easier, because you already know that this and this is going to affect the market in a certain way. So if I'm seeing price on a support level, what am I going to do? Because I know this and this has been released, it's affecting the market like this, high chances it's going to do like this. So it's like I'm already having 70%.
You see, a lot of people out there, I don't know why with Forex, at the beginner level is always, or with trading, the beginner level is always the hardest, because this is a situation whereby you're looking for someone to mentor you up, and then you're still confused, you're still confused, you're stuck in between. When am I going to make that first coin off the Forex, off the markets? And then when is my mentor giving me that free, signals and all that? And then they're always confused. I tend to use the word confused because sometimes we come across mentors, or some people come across mentors, and the mentor will want to teach the student the same things, the way they trade, the way they analyze, when they execute and when they exit. You get it? And they want a student to capture everything like it's a Bible. You get it? And then, what could you tell that person who is having such kind of a mentor? Because we can't underestimate the fact that a mentor is someone who really starts your journey. But then you, aside of that whole thing, we don't want to underlook, but then generally we should have an overlook. What would be that one tip that you give to some other person?
Who is trying to learn?
Yes, who is trying to learn. They already have a mentor, but then the mentor wants them to learn everything the way they are doing it, exactly as the mentor. So,
truth be told, I can't be teaching a student and I'm teaching them ICT because I don't trade it. Or I'm telling them, or I don't teach ICT, but I think it works, so go and study that. I'm really teaching you the thing I've been doing for 5 years, and I know that it's going to work, So Yes, as a mentor, you always have to give all the information that really works for you. And most of the times, realize that we have a lot of tools to use in forex trading. We can't deny that. People use moving averages, people use support and resistance, people use Fibonacci. Like a lot of things are being used in forex trading. So when you limit someone from using, I mean, when I tell you that, hey, I'm using this and this and this and this, and then you think that, oh, she's not teaching me whatever I need to know or whatever. But I just think every mentor, by the time they really put out themselves to be a mentor, unless they are not profitable, but if they are profitable, there is a reason to why they are profitable. So it wouldn't really make sense to me if I was a student and a mentor is recommending me to go and learn something that is not in the, in the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, being a mentor, and then you are forcefully. It's like, okay, let me use the word force. Like, you have to do as I do as I say, walk as I walk.
So,
Yet already, reason that's why I'm saying that, I'm deriving it from a point whereby you said, by the time you got to know about forex, you already had someone who was already trading, but then you didn't follow their footsteps as in learning and making them sit you down and then teach you. You thought for other ways how you can. You get it? So that one gave me a picture of that anyone, for as long as you are good at researching, and then because this is the person, that is the person you learned or you knew or you got your forex from, but then you didn't trade as they trade, and here you are. You get it?
For the first, I think 2 years, 3 years, I think I traded like the way he traded, because after some time of me learning all the knowledge, the basics, what is this, what is that, definitely I need to put the strategy together, but I don't know how to. So when I interacted with this person, of course, we have been talking forex trading and all that, that's how we came up with the strategy, all ourselves. It wasn't like one best strategy, we all came up with the strategy that we were both trading, you get. So, and then after that, that's when I realized that maybe, at some point you reach a point where the strategy is not working anymore and you feel like you don't know a lot. Of course, that is all part of the forex trading journey, and that's when you start digging and all that. But when it comes to like the mentors and the students, I really recommend a mentor to teach what they have, but they shouldn't limit the students from learning. But most of the times, I always think before a student comes to be your mentee, they are supposed to really be ready to let go of whatever they've been learning so they can focus on what you are willing to teach them. Okay. That's how I see it. Because if you come with a perspective of, hey, I already know this, or I'm eager to know this, and you're not paying attention to what I'm giving you, high chances you're going to doubt it. And what happens in forex trading when you doubt information? Yet we all know that most of the strategies that we are trading in forex trading are 70% win rate. I hope you know that. You get. So if I'm giving you a 70% win rate, that means it's what I have. Even if like that mentor comes to you, that mentee comes to you, and you still have something to offer, whatever strategy you're offering them, just know it's already a 70% win rate. So it's the way they applied them as mentees. Okay. In the trading.
Now, this might be a little bit offline, but then we have to get it from you as a lady. Yeah. Men or guys out there have this fear factor in them, that if you're doing trading, or if you know trading, and then you introduce it to your girlfriend, for example, and then this lady steps into it and then they start doing it, there is always the superiority, inferiority complex, whereby now, you ladies start being like, there's nothing you can tell me. You're making money the hard way, I make the money hard way. Yeah. And then so men or guys tend to hold this onto themselves. We're like, why? Let me hold on to it. I won't tell her openly. I won't open to her about how I make money, because if she gets to know, then she become a problem. So how real is that? I hope you really don't lie.
To start with, we know the men are the alpha male. They are the alphas or whatever, So if you as a man are insecure about the knowledge you're giving to your woman, you are not man enough. That's how I see it. Because however much you give me information, I'm telling you, you are supposed to be knowing deep down that, I'm giving this woman information, but above everything, she's still, I'm still the superior.
Oh,
Like, it's as simple as that.
Someone will still argue, yes, they're alpha. They will still argue that they're alpha male as you're terming them to be, and they know they will always be men. But then that doesn't okay, it is that character in someone. Like, do you think, or out of, because I'm pretty sure sometimes you also share you sit somewhere under a certain shade and then discuss as well, maybe you have fellow ladies who do forex or who do trading, and then you share. So based on the general knowledge, do you think it could be real? Because it's either, what you say is either going to help someone out there or it's going to drain them. They'll be like, I think, no, still I've been trying to hold on to and not letting her know about this, but then if it is, then.
So one thing I would say that forex trading will just help you shape you in a lot of different ways. It could be behavior, it could be the attitude, a lot of things. But it wouldn't really take away the fact that we are still living in a society where, we are living with people who believe in a certain way, or, and that thing is still within us. So even if a man comes and teaches me this and teaches me that, of course I will know something at some point more than him and all that. It wouldn't take away the respect I have for the person, or it wouldn't take away the way I look at the person, unless if you actually just not smart enough and you really feeling like that or insecure about me knowing certain information. But if you are really secure, I don't think me learning about it or you teaching me about it as my man would be an issue,
There is always a factor for persistence or resistance. And you knowing about trading years back, and you still in it, regardless of the failures, because you're not all that much, you're not 100%, because with its general knowledge, there's no trader out there who will tell you I'm always 100%. Right from the time I started trading, I've never hit a stop loss. There is no one who will tell you that. And then there must be, even despite of all these failures or challenges, everyone must be having a push factor. Because maybe at a certain point, most of the people I've interacted with, they'll tell you, Mom, Dad was this, and then maybe at a certain point we reached a disagreement, we fought, we even and then you as blessed, what is that one triggering or that push factor that has kept you going regardless of the challenges in the financial markets?
So, of course, for the beginning part, I joined forex trading because of, I want to help my family, I want to make much money, I want to, please people around me. But the longer I stayed in the journey of learning and everything about forex trading, I realized that I was actually doing it for me. Even just the studying alone that comes along with forex trading, it's fulfilling alone. Like, you learning this new, you being disciplined, and learning discipline is one of the most fulfilling things I can talk about. That after me reaching a point where I felt like, I've now put in the work, I didn't even look at the fact that I've been doing this for my family. I just felt like, I've been doing this for me. So most of the times, you have to be your own motivation. That's what I can say.
Yes, it's yet again my trading journey. And today we hosted one lady that really does trading, and she's earned from it. She's tested with the challenges and all you can imagine, but she's still standing tall and holding on to it. You too can be one if you start today, but then you shouldn't forget that as you're trading, you should look out for a broker that will favor you right from the leverages and then the spreads. And then Tamam tells you they've got all what it takes. The customer support almost, it's always a minute away or text away or a call away. You can always be attended to. The zero spread, as I've told you, almost. And then you can go to the leverages, almost 1 to 2,000 basically. So this is all that you really have to look at. And I don't think with all that being provided, instant transactions, which is both withdrawals and deposits, then why would you really look further yet? You have a broker that would really favor you, have a very entertaining, a very fun and comfortable trading journey. It's TBS, Tamam Brokerage Services, that really gives you the opportunity. And then you also How about you try them out? Okay, as it has always been, people believing that some things, some roles are for specific genders, and then always trying to underestimate the fact of the gender of the female gender. Here we are with a lady that has shown you that yokes can be broken, because we've mostly been knowing that forex or trading in general is only made or meant for men. But here she's proving a point, and you are, I'm sure, liking already what she's shared. So if you really have that sister, and right now we're in a generation, as she has told you, technology growing and and diversification. So if you have that sister who might not be so much into this whole books and being a bookworm as well, you can as well enroll them, and they get to know more about this. And the good thing with this, it is just a self-driving thing. And once you know the first one, you go on to the second one, and before you realize, you'll be a pro, like the she trader herself. So, as we know that everything got its own challenges. And then you too as well, being a successful trader doesn't mean that you just, woke up a single day and then you started making money, or you just blew up from the heaven. You must have gone through a journey, you must have gone through a series of lessons. And this whole journey must have had some challenges. And those are the challenges that really went, generally you can look at the ones you've gone through, and then the general ones that you know that you really want to tip off that person who is willing or who looks to be anytime soon joining.
So when it comes to forex trading, most of the things I would say that I've faced are like lessons, so there wouldn't be challenges, because if it's a challenge, it's something that hits you and you just don't know how to go about it.
Okay.
But like for most of the things that I've faced in forex trading, it has always been, hey, you're learning this, hey, this is to make you learn this. But the main challenges that I've really gotten is like finding the information that I need to know. Because when I was starting the journey, the only thing I read was baby pips, and that is it. So whatever trading I was doing, it was based on baby pips, and we all know how, and like how you wouldn't be that good of a trader if you've only been doing, if you only read baby pips alone. So finding the information that I needed to find, reading the books, the podcast to watch, definitely the people to follow who are going to give you the information you need. So technically, the thing I would say that has been hard for me mostly was finding the information that I need to know in forex trading.
Okay.
And because you will learn a lot of things, but it's so hard to put everything together when you're learning each and everything. So like finding the right information that you're going to follow, finding the right things that you're going to do was the hardest, was the hardest thing, the hardest thing for me. And like the other things that have been coming in have been so small, let me say, definitely brokers and this happening, or maybe not having like equipment enough, or maybe sometimes like, small issues I would say. But really everything has always been finding information, because forex trading is all about opening and placing a trade, buying and selling. So I wouldn't say the issues are that.
Let me cut you short.
Yeah.
You just talked about brokers and all that. Because most of the people, because we sometimes have to jump in and then try to relate stories, and then sometimes that's how we do get all the positives and the negatives. People have been crying, most of the people that have hosted, and some have had bad experiences whereby someone trades and then, in the moment of withdrawing, the kamane is, yeah. So, like, at any point in life, have you experienced that?
Of course, it wouldn't be that the money is not there at the account, but the money takes long to be withdrawn, or maybe the spreads are too big sometimes, or maybe they have like crazy swaps. Like it's those small things that you didn't think would make you fail as a trader, but in the long run, imagine if you don't give me my payout in time, and hey, I'm still trading my account. High chances my psychology is going to be messed up with, and I'm going to start making bad trading decisions, and boom, I'm making losses. Okay, so
the broker will smile.
And the broker will smile, because that's why they're actually delaying the payout, so you can take chances of placing trades and all that. So everything concerning brokers, if I realize that the broker is not really up to my convenience, I always make sure that I don't work with them. If I realize that your spreads or maybe your payout is like down, or maybe you don't have things that favor me, because there are some brokers who don't have like accounts that other people want to trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still taking us through the challenges?
Yeah. So I don't really have much challenges that I've faced apart from those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yes, of course, challenges. It could be just a single challenge, or it could be one, but then having a whole thing surrounding, and one out there still will ask. You would want, if we are bringing questions direct, I'm sure someone would want to ask the sheet trader, like all those challenges are there. Then how do you go about it? How does someone go about them? Of course, they are ready. They are willing to step into the market. They're ready, willing to start trading. And now the question is, the challenges will be there. It's a must. But then how am I going to face them?
The challenges that I would say that I'm mostly involved in forex trading is like the beginning part. Because once you're done with the beginning part and you know the basics and all that, you know all the information, all you need to work on, other things are it's like the self-work. You have to put in the work you as a person. So I would say like the hardest part would be like the beginning journey. You as a trader or someone who is beginning to trade, make sure you just have someone to guide you throughout this whole thing, because you're going to find yourself learning more than you need to learn, confusing yourself, confusing strategies, you're doing this, you're doing that, and by the time you put things together, it's going to be late for you, you know? So given the fact that this is one of the hardest things to do for a beginner, I would recommend that each and every beginner should, start with a good mentor. Try to look up for the mentor. Go see how these people have been performing. Just put in the work to like even just find a mentor who is good at what they do. So other than that, for the brokers, definitely you'll have to try out a broker one time if you feel like this person is not doing according to what they're supposed to be offering me. You can use another broker, but just make sure you also put in research in like the people you're trading with, let me say the brokers you're trading with, so that they don't get to run away with your money, they don't get to like give you accounts you don't want to, or they don't get to like chop off the money once you're sleeping or things like that. But like with all the challenges in forex trading, they all just come as lessons. Like psychology, all those are lessons that are learned while you're looking for information, definitely.
Okay, now, as you're trying to conclude, for the experience you have, and the more you're still to attain, where do you see forex, or where do you see trading financials in the next, or trading financials in the next 5 to 10 years?
You're saying me?
Yeah,
like just
you as a, yes, no, like you, no, generally, yes, because you already, I know you might be having already your plans that I wouldn't, so those might be a little bit personal, but then if you try to paint, because I'm sure you must have, you've been studying the whole, the transition, so like what do you see, because for example, might be here in East Africa, Uganda, and then someone want to know, because one person will be out there maybe is thinking, I think I'm too late for it.
Oh,
yeah.
So the numbers of forex traders have really gone up. From the time I started in 2019, I would usually sit back then I would use taxis. You sit in taxi and no one even knows what you're doing. But at some point you will use a border where to like today, where everyone knows what you're doing. You like everywhere you go, people do forex trading. So I believe in like the next 5 years, people will be good at it. A lot of people will be engaged in it. So I think even the knowledge will be everywhere for anyone to learn.
Then one other thing that we won't leave unmentioned. One time, one great leader, and there was once president of UG, the late Idi Amin Dada, presented a lady as felt a need for a lady to be the executive of the Kampala capital city. And the reason he gave was ladies are always the mothers of the house. And once you give them a capital city like Kampala, then it will be very, very okay, or it will be very well taken care of, and then provisions, and then they will balance out things very well and to develop at a faster rate. Now that we are having you as a lady, the first one to host on this show, what is that tip? What is that tip that you're leaving us with generally as a lady?
Yeah, as a lady, we are women, we nurture, we teach. We tell you what you need to do and what you're not supposed to do. We do not excite you about the future, however much sometimes it's always bright. It's about taking things step by step. It's the same thing you're supposed to do with forex trading. Any forex trader out there who wants to learn forex trading, everything is supposed to be taken step by step. You're supposed to be knowing that, hey, I'm doing this in the first year of my trading, I'm going to experience this, I'm going to experience this, it's going to be so hard in studying, it's going to be hard in finding good mentors. All these you're supposed to be knowing. Even before you get excited to make the money, you should always know that money in forex trading is just like a byproduct. You just need to put in the work, you need to put in everything, you need to put in the studying, and when you start shaping yourself, you as a trader, that's when you start seeing the money. But if you haven't seen the money yet, that means you still are in the process of working on yourself. So I would emphasize all beginners to invest in mostly studying, invest in learning what is supposed to help you, invest in learning our news, technicals, engage yourself with people who are going to help you, and they don't have limiting beliefs, We all have these beliefs where people say forex trading is a scamming business or forex trading is this. It's all said because the society we live in is not used to the fact that money can be made easily. You get? So they feel like there is need to attach time on how much money you're supposed to make in in a given period of time. So I always advise anyone who wants to take on the forex career, the market is still very virgin. If you really want to study, it's okay, but just know the hardships are really, really there, and you can make the money if you put in the work. If you put in,
In other words, I think if I can still again echo what she just said is, if you are this person with a mentality of I want to get rich quick, then I think trading might be may not even be a shortcut for you. So you better go on with those professions where they'll be asking you for interviews. They'll be asking you for interviews, of course, and then experience. But then I wouldn't, it really bothers me for someone that put in 16 years of just learning things that you're not sure about, or that you'll one time graduate and get a job, fails to just give in a few months. Yeah, by the way, just remembered, we're talking about the people who don't want to first invest in time to know about something. We just drove me back to a point of signals. What is your take about trading signals?
It's weird that I've traded for 5 years. I've never taken any single signal. I've never been there, and even if I see, hey, we are buying at this price and we're putting a stop loss at this price.
Myself and some other people are already saying,
I bet all my money. Like all the
you
money.
Lose it?
Like I'm ready
when
to
you lose it?
I would even put my mom's hand to carry. That's how
Jesus
serious
Christ.
I am.
Okay.
Like I've never taken any signal. Even if when I see that the buy up, I'm actually, when you check through my Telegram channels, I'm not in like those signal groups. At least I'm in those forex development, groups.
Okay.
Or like groups that give information, not groups that give signals. Because hey, when someone gives you a signal, hey, we are buying there, we are selling there. Why are we buying from there? And why are we selling from there without any reason?
Because it's a signal.
It's not a signal. Like, what are you telling me to do? That means I'm not going to learn. Are you getting my point?
Maybe on a certain morning I've woken up and then my signals or my setups are not working out, but I still want to make money, but I believe in the other person who gives the signals.
Actually, this is not something to even joke about. Like, when you're in forex trading and you're still taking signals, like, bro, you still have a very long way to go. If you're still like relying on signals.
But these are signals from my mentor.
Mentors are not supposed to be giving out signals.
Okay.
Get it from me. A mentor is supposed to direct you on how to make your own money, if they really, really care about their mentees. So you as a mentor, make sure you teach your students to do what you do, not to like do what you tell them to do.
Sure.
So that's as simple as that.
So bro or sister who is out there and you've been taking signals, you better get to learn the hard way and start trading. Maybe I think the question that you should ask yourself is, if he can study the market and give out a signal, then why shouldn't I also study and analyze the market and then be able to provide a signal to myself? That's what maybe she has just said. So, She Trader, FX Diva, thanks for coming through, and I'm pretty sure these people must have picked out one or two, and then I'm sure the next time we have you, we'll still have some other things that you're going to share, because more episodes are to come, and then if you've picked out something, then I'm pretty sure you'll be eager to also learn more from her. Till we meet next time, you can only view me or when I view you.
Yeah.